Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me again. It's TeaRon. That's TeaRon, period. And I am here with.
Hey y'all, it's Tiera. It's Tiera or Tiera Janee. Hey y'all, hey.
Hey, and welcome to another edition of Ubiquitous Blacks Reviews. And this time we're going to be talking about a series,
Mm-hmm.
one that recently took the internet by storm, or
Ooh,
should I say, by swarm.
yes, lots of buzz, if you will. You're so excited at your
I'm
little
very
pun.
proud of me.
I see
I'm
that.
very proud that I did that.
They see it
Off
too.
the dome. You just sometimes I just got it like that. I'm sorry. But
Yes.
that being said,
hmm
we are going to
hmm
talk about Swarm here today. If you
We
haven't
are.
already, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get updates on our reviews. And if you don't know what we're doing here, Ubiquitous Blacks Reviews, we are strictly reviewing Black content, Black movies, Black film. Um, that's our overall criteria, right, Tiara?
Yeah, black, and more black. That's all we need.
That's all we need. That's what we
That's
want.
all we
That's what we
need.
want. We know
Yes.
that there is a lot of content out there that's being created that does not get the light shed on it, but have no fear. TNT is here. Okay. I'm on a roll.
You are.
Dad joke ass roll right now.
It's true.
Tiara,
Yes. I'm excited. I'm excited. I've been waiting to talk to you about this. I'm so excited. Yes.
I have one question when it
Yes.
comes to Swarm.
Okay, let's go. Let's
But
go. I'm
first,
ready.
let's check out the trailer for Swarm.
Oh, you make me wait longer. Mhm.
Okay, so that was it.
Uh-huh. 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 Uh-huh.
Tiara,
Yes.
what was your initial not thoughts, but feeling when you got to watch Swarm? Did you binge it all in one setting?
No, absolutely
Okay.
not. It
Okay.
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. You got this is a series that, well, for me, I had to break it up because it's a lot to digest. So I definitely had to break it up. How about you?
No. It took me a long time. That's why we're
It
just now
did.
that's why we're just
Yes,
now
it
reviewing.
did. Let's call a thing a thing. It did take you a long time. Yes.
It took me a long time to finish it, but that's because life be life, and
It's true.
I'm over. Well, I'm not gonna tell you how old I am, but I'm old enough to like I have stuff to do.
Yeah.
Plus, I was watching other stuff. So
So you would say it's not about the series. It's more about life, be life. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to clarify for the people.
I mean, I was like, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it. That's how I felt about it. I didn't think
Ugh.
I needed to watch it. You know what I
See,
mean?
and like that's the thing. I wanted you to watch this. I've been waiting for you to watch this. I had an opposite feeling. I was like, oh, I need to watch. Funny enough, you're the one who told me about it because I had been seeing the advertising, because of course Amazon and it's on Prime, and I have been seeing stuff online and social media, but I had kind of, I'm a little upset with Donald, so like,
Not
which we won't go
Donald.
there. I've been a little upset with Donald, not gonna lie to you. So I really wasn't into it. And then you told me about it. I
Hmm.
watched the trailer and then I was into it. I was ready from
Yes.
there. Hmm.
And I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. I was okay. We know Donald gave us Atlanta.
Yes, he did.
And then
Took it away. I'm just kidding.
somewhere along the way he was like, okay, I'm done with that. So he phoned
It
that
was very that. It was very, I'm done. Moving
but
on.
now we know the reason that it was phoned in was because he was working on this other thing.
Yes.
And y'all call it Swarm. I call it a portion of his life story. Um,
You're gonna have to bleep that.
yeah. So when you get right down to it,
Let's
the
go.
genius of first of all, I want to talk to y'all about how Jordan Peele got all y'all creators stepping it up. Because
Mm.
if it wasn't for Jordan Peele, doing what he did with Get Out, a lot of y'all wouldn't even be thinking, "Oh, we're gonna make a story about a black female serial killer." I
Mhm.
give Jordan Peele his flowers is all I'm saying. But the genius of
Mhm.
Donald Glover,
Mhm.
Donald's best musical project by far was because of the internet, right? Right?
Facts.
The
Facts.
reason being is Donald's source material was given to him by Gen Pop.
Mhm.
We gave Donald his source material to create that project. He just basically he does this thing where he sees something, he steps back, he's like, okay, that's it. That's what it seems
Mhm.
like he does. So
Yeah.
this project Swarm takes me not by surprise, knowing how he is as a creative,
Yeah.
and basically he took material that was already out there and he gave it to us, you know, through a contract with Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there was nothing about the threading of that series that was an original thought, except for the fact that they took the character
Mhm.
and made them obsessed to the point of becoming a serial killer. But
Yeah.
as far as the actual threading, and when I say threading, I mean the thing that ties everything together.
Mhm.
That's all stuff that we all could have pulled from Twitter. We just didn't have the mind to or the resources to do it.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. But, like, I appreciate that, right? Because it's like, for me,
Yeah.
this was a story, like, maybe not the serial killer part, but, like, so many of the themes were things that I've thought about when you think of, like, these obsessive fan bases who do this internet trolling, who do this bullying online. Like, these are things that, like, I feel like a lot of us have thought about, but we never put it together in this way. And like you said,
Format, yeah.
Donald's got the resources. He also has a creative, um acumen, like, also the creative forces around him to put it together in such a way. So I thought it was beautiful and I thought it was bold. I thought it was really bold of him to do that because of course, there's a certain fan base who was not happy with this. Um
Really?
yeah, right? But like I love that he was just like, F it. Like, I'm gonna tell this story. It needs to be told, but we're gonna do it in this way, my way, the DG way. I just loved it. I just loved it. I
It
loved
was
it.
something fresh. It was something completely fresh
Yeah.
in terms of seeing a black woman serial killer. That part was fresh.
Yes.
That
Can we
that
talk about the lead actress, Miss Dominique? I like
Dominique did her thing.
baby,
Um
baby.
Dominique operates in this space where you can't tell what age she is. So
I love it. I love it. And I only know what age she is because I watched a clip of her on TeaRon Hall show and it was like the day before her birthday or something. And she talked about her
yeah,
actual age, and I was like
yeah,
flabbergasted.
yeah. She's one of those people that she's gonna look forever 15, like Bianca Lawson, right? Like you can
Yes.
always play a high school.
Yes. In the range, like, because like, say what you want about Bianca, but range, baby, she
Yeah.
has it. Same with Miss Dominique Fishback. I think give her all the things, all the flowers, all the awards. I know white Hollywood is gonna play in her face, but baby, she did that. I'm sorry, Swarm would not have been what it was had it not been for her. I don't think any other actress could have played that lead character the way that she played it. And I read something where she was saying she was doing method acting. So
Yeah.
she had to take like a break and she had to go on like a sabbatical and do a vacation and like be away to like, purge herself of that character. And I read that before I watched the series and I thought, oh wow, okay. So I watched that series. I said, I get it.
Yeah.
Give her all the things. Give her
Yeah.
her flowers.
She
Everything.
was
Give it to her.
absolutely incredible in it. But for me, it wasn't even her, like she kept me locked in. But it wasn't
Mhm.
even her performance that had me in awe as much as some of the supporting cast.
Okay.
Uh first of all, I thought it was because with Donald Glover's work, he always has like subliminals, right?
Yes, always.
He always
Mhm.
creates things that make you have where if you rewatch it, you think that there's more because a lot of times there maybe not be more meaning, but the way he
Yes.
does it, it's it's probably it's like, wait,
You
this
go, "Huh,
yeah, yeah,
wait a
yeah.
minute." Yeah,
So
yeah,
so the fact that he casted people like Billie Eilish and also Paris Jackson, right?
yeah.
Who
Mhm,
doesn't necessarily have the following, but basically grew up with, people who would be categorized as
yes.
a swarm, right?
Yes,
That to me was
yes.
completely clever.
Someone who, like,
People who
saw
can
it firsthand.
who have crazy
Firsthand.
fans. Let's
Yeah,
just call it
yeah,
like that. People who have crazy fans.
yeah.
I
He said that, y'all, not me.
I did. Um
Come on, you better own it.
I personally think that when the idea came up and he started writing this, I think that him and had a hilarious time. I think she thought it was completely funny.
Interesting.
And we all know that these elements are from her story. The biting incident,
Mhm,
right? We all remember that. I think they said it was
mhm,
Sanaa Lathan that bit in the face.
mhm.
So there was that. Um, all the tweets, the
Mhm.
bumblebees. It's not. It was. There was nothing subtle about.
There was nothing subtle or subliminal, like, there were subliminals, but, like, the overall, the overarching, it was not subtle, and that's what I was saying, the boldness, I love it. But, like, you were saying that you think that him and her sat back and had, like, a
I
kiki and a
think she.
cackle.
I think. See. She don't talk that much, right? She don't.
Mm,
But I think that there's a shady side to everybody, and I and I
okay,
and I think she was like, "Oh yeah, put that in there, put that in there." I think she was for it.
see, I don't, and I hope not, because, like, while, yes, it was entertaining and we all loved it and there were some funny parts, I personally don't think that that obsessive fan culture is funny or healthy, and I would
Of
hope
course, it's not
that
funny or healthy,
someone
but
of her I would hope that someone in her position, um, would not think that that was, like, funny. Now, I do think that there is another celebrity who I will not name here, who has a similar, yep, close your mouth, who has a similar, obsessive fan base. She probably would think that that was funny because
when I say that thinks it's funny, I think what I'm saying is I think that she thinks that it would be funny in terms of telling the story or retelling it. Like, oh yeah, that's put that in there. That's so ridiculous. Like in that way. Not
oh, that
like
not the obsessive part,
yeah,
more
yeah,
of,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
things, okay, so the got it. Okay, so more
Yeah.
of, like, okay, the star, I can't think of her name, I can't remember what her name was. Queen Naija,
Yeah. Yeah.
Naija. Yeah, so you thinking, like, okay, that person being, like, you think that part is funny, but not the obsessive fan culture.
Exactly.
Okay, got it,
And
got it.
and again, I wanna just give props to because I think everybody that was in the show did a wonderful job. First of all, let me say this.
Yes.
The way the internet be, the way Twitter be twittering, right?
Yeah.
The fact that the only thing that they got out of the whole thing was a sex scene with Damson Idris and Chloe Bailey. Come
Yes.
on, grow up. Grow up.
Not grow up.
Now, the
Mhm.
question is this: did I watch it more than once? Duh,
That's not what I thought you were about to say.
duh. But it was for artistic purposes because I wanted to make sure that when we spoke about this, we got what we
Hold
needed to
on.
get out of it. So for artistic purposes, yeah, I watched it a few different times because I wanted to. The lighting and everything. I was like, oh, this is cool. So that's
Wait, what?
huh?
That part, you were looking at the lighting?
Yeah, yeah. So when I watch stuff, I watch it for different reasons. I don't.
Okay. See, you trying to play in these people's faces, but okay.
I do. I watch it for different reasons. I'm like,
You
okay,
did not watch that scene for the lighting.
I absolutely did because you. It's like okay, shout out to the lighting man because he had to light Chloe Bailey right?
Mhm.
He had to light the
Mhm.
arch in her back and everything, and then he also had to
Mhm.
light Damson.
Oh, Lord.
So
Oh, Lord.
him being that, you got to know, you got to have a good lighting person
Mhm.
to be
Let me
able to
let me
do
pause.
this.
Audience, please comment down below if you believe that TeaRon was watching for the lighting. He rewound it so he can give props to the lighting guy or
Yes,
gal. Please comment below and let us know if you really think this man was watching for the
it's
lighting.
the
And if
truth.
you too were watching for the lighting, let us know because maybe I'm mistaken,
I'm impressed.
but maybe I was impressed as well. But I'm not going to say that I was watching for
To
the light.
light two different complexions like that, I'm impressed.
Again, let us know. Please let us know.
I'm
Mhm.
impressed.
Let me know. Let me know. Maybe I'm mistaken.
I did think that was clever in the storytelling, how how I don't even know the characters' names anymore. Oh, Dre. Dre is the main character, which is Dominique's character.
Yes.
How Dre's character, her relationship with Marissa, which is Chloe
Mhm.
Bailey.
Mhm.
I did think it was clever how we, when we first met them, we just were seeing them as best friends,
Yeah.
only to find out that there was more to that,
Yes.
and in a shocking turn of events. So that, I thought that was really clever. What did you think about that part?
I agree. I wasn't really sure what the relationship was when I first started. To be honest, I watched the first episode twice because I felt like, am I missing something? Like, did they actually say what they were, what the relationship was? And then the way that episode one ended, which I won't spoil it, but the way that episode one ended, again, I was confused. I was like, did I miss something? So I definitely had to rewind it. And then, like
Yeah.
you said, it was interesting how, like, throughout the series, we or throughout the shows, we learned what their relationship was, and it made me sad. It really made me
I did.
sad.
It did not make me
Okay.
sad.
All
There was
right.
no I did there was no way I had any empathy for Dre at all.
Really?
No, but by the time she did all that, no,
I
no.
think two things can be true. You can think someone is
I didn't.
wrong and they need to be punished, but I did have empathy for her. I thought
Maybe
that she
after the
was
first two things, I was like, oh, but then, oh my God.
it I, interesting. I had empathy for her. I felt that though it was like unchecked mental
Of
illness.
course, of course.
So I had empathy for that, but was she dead wrong? Ooh. I mean, was she wrong? Ooh, I
Wrong
didn't mean
like
to
two
say it
left
like
feet.
and now another thing I wanted to ask you about, I'm so excited we're talking about this, as I'm sure that the audience can see. I wanted to ask you about like the eating, the snacking, the eating after every major event or every kill. This is not like a spoiler, but after
Yeah.
every kill that she did, the like junk food and like what are your thoughts? What do you think that that was representative of?
So I think that it, like you said, it had to do with the mental complex. When you are brought up in a foster system, right?
Mhm.
There's
Mhm.
this subconscious idea of things being taken away from you, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So finding comfort in, food is one thing, because it's like, okay, this is food, it's not gonna do anything, but also
Mhm.
consuming it, gorging yourself is almost like it's almost like a reaction to someone taking things from you. You better hurry up and eat this shit. You better hurry
Interesting.
up and take it in before it's gone, right? So I think that
Uh-huh.
her doing that was basically, that was her comfort, her solace, because
Interesting.
even though she wasn't a big girl,
Yeah.
it could have been that. It could have very well been a big girl who had an eating disorder that was directly tied to um I wouldn't say separation anxiety, but like, things being taken away from you. That's really was her whole obsession, was she, once she gets attached to something,
Mhm.
she can't let it go. So
Mhm.
the only way she was able to let go of Marissa was because she
Yeah.
offered herself, right?
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that I didn't think of that. Makes a lot of sense. That
And then
never
think about it
crossed
like
my
this
mind at
too.
all.
If
Yeah.
if she was taken in by the family, and this is not in the series, but it's just to be assumed based on the storytelling. If she was taken in by the family, imagine that she was likely eating and doing stuff like that all the time. So imagine
Mhm.
you're taking in a child that's not yours, and
Mhm.
you're feeding them, and they're just right. She's probably sneaking into the fridge at night. She's
Mm.
probably, so she's doing a lot of things to piss the family off, but that doesn't
Mhm.
even really want her around anyway. But it's
Mm.
because of whatever she came from, which we don't know.
Interesting. Yeah. No,
But
that's a really interesting way to look at that.
what did
Okay,
you think?
okay. I thought it was, one of 2 things. I thought, 1, it was, like, representing her compulsion, like,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
not the lack of self-control, cannot control, everything's overindulgent. That, and then like, I don't wanna say nod, but, like, the nod to serial killers and how a lot of them would, like, leave their, like, mark or calling card or whatever, and, like, "Oh, okay, write a note or leave something in blood," or whatever, like, we hear these different things about these
yeah.
serial killers. So I kinda thought that maybe it was that, but then again, we know what DG and team, they're gonna leave it up for our interpretation. They're never gonna tell us what they mean by that. It's always gonna be this one-off thing. So it's one of the things that really speaks to
Right.
Donald Glover and Friends.
I would have to say this too.
Mhm.
So having her go from that and then fast forwarding to her going to work in the strip club.
Again, I had to rewind it because I was like, "Did I fall asleep?
No, no, no.
Did I miss?"
No, that it was a time jump. So
And
her
her being a
her
horrible stripper, a terrible
a horrible
stripper.
stripper. The fact that she was basically only stripping so that she could recreate her obsession with Queen Naija, right? That was genius. That was genius. And then
Yeah.
also her stripping is
It was so bad.
it
And I
was
was like, it made
the
me
most awkward thing
uncomfortable.
ever.
Yeah, like, I was uncomfortable watching it, not because she was tripping, because it was so bad.
Yeah. But then even
So
even
bad.
even in the midst of that, you could see that she was very one track minded because she was obsessed with finding the people in the phone, right?
Mhm. Yep.
So even when she was doing the strip dance, her whole motive was I'm coming here so that I can achieve my next goal. She was
Yes.
basically a hitman for a
For
fan group
Twitter. Yeah.
that did not ask her to be so. Was not getting paid to do it, right? That,
Mhm.
and then speaking of the strippers, I was completely smitten with the performance from I think her name is X Mayo or X Mayo. Her character's name was Cheeks.
She was amazing. I thought she was so funny.
So
So funny.
I found out that she used to write on like the Daily Show with Trevor Noah. She has like a whole background as far as like TV writing and stuff, and she
I love
she got
it.
into acting eventually, but her performance was so good. I heard that she because she's and that's the other thing too. Swarm lets you know that it's going to be a short thing because
Mhm.
each episode is its own
Yes.
story. There's
Yes.
no continuum through it other than the main character. So all the sub characters you meet, they're done in that episode.
Mhm.
I heard that she made a conscious decision because they had when you're on set, they have what they call intimacy directors. These
Mhm.
are people who basically are there and they specialize in the intimate scenes. So this would have been people who organize a sex scene. They're the ones that say, okay, camera stop, robes on, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
They also are the ones that communicate with you and talk to you about how a scene is going to go, what you're comfortable with, and all those things. So they're the ones that regulate so that nothing crazy goes on.
Sure.
So I heard that she was basically having a conversation with the head of that team or that department or whatever, and they were asking like, okay, with this scene at the party,
Mm. Mm.
with this scene at the
Uh-huh.
party,
Yes.
do you want to do full nude or do you just want to be topless? Like, how do you want to approach this? And she basically saw this as a way of being like, okay, we big girls don't often get this option or really
Mhm.
get to be seen, for their full figure. And she was like, I'm gonna do the fool.
She did it. Oh, baby,
And
she did it.
I
She
wasn't
did
mad.
it.
I wasn't mad. I like a breast,
Mhm.
uh,
You like the lighting.
or two, or in the lighting,
You love the
costume.
lighting.
I do like the costumes,
Uh-huh,
the set
mhm.
design, right?
Yeah, mhm. So,
And then also speaking
no, no,
what?
no, no,
What?
no, not also. Nope. No, we're moving on.
Well, I was just gonna say, speaking of the party, um,
Okay. Mhm.
there was
Thank
also a
you.
performance. So did you know that that white guy that was I don't think it was at the party, it was after, or it was a different episode. I don't remember. But the white guy that was at the party, not at the party, but the white guy that slept with Dre. And then the next morning he got up and he was like making snacks and stuff.
Yes. Uh-huh, uh-huh,
You know,
uh-huh.
that's Macaulay Culkin's little brother.
No.
Did you like if you go back and look at him, you're like, why does he look so familiar? It's because he looks just like his brother.
You know, I will say that was another thing that I really enjoyed about the series is these like little cameos of people that like you may or may not know. And you're kind of like, is that because I gotta be honest, I knew that Billie Eilish was in the series
Mhm.
because I had been hearing people talking about it after I had watched the series. And then I was like, well, sorry, y'all. Who was Billie Eilish? Like which one? Like which one? And then when I found out the character that she played, mind blown.
Yeah.
First of all, did not know that was her. Second of all, phenomenal. She played the heck out that character. I
Whoever
love to see it.
Listen, whoever made the conscious decision to put the black woman serial killer and put her in a what would you call it? Would that be like a small cult?
Yes. Oh, it was a cult for sure. It was Nexium. Again, it's a nod to the genius of Donald Glover and team because that's one of those another one if you know, you know kind of things. Because as someone who watches a lot of documentaries and things about
Yeah.
cults and the sort, um, that was a nod to that. So Nexium is a cult that was white, upper class women, mainly women. And they were like bringing these people in, and it was very much a cult and very much about like, higher self and all that sort of a thing. So it was very much a nod to that. And it's one of those like, if you know, you know. So it was very that. And then to put Billie Eilish, who is she's a pop star and people love her, to put her in this role that's like I guess could be polarizing because you're like, one hand, you like this girl. She brought in Dre and she accepted her for who she was. But then on the other hand, it's like a cult leader. Like that was genius to put her in
Yeah.
that role. I love to see it. And again, I didn't know who she was until afterwards, I'll be honest. But then I was like, "Ah, love it." And to be fair, Paris Jackson too. Also did not know that was her. And
Yeah.
then the joke about, oh, I'm mixed. My dad is my dad is black. Genius. Perfection.
Yo.
Perfect.
And those are the subliminals. Those are the quirks, you know what I mean?
Loved it. Loved it.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Because the series it's just a wild ride. It is something. I will say this. I didn't binge it just because I was busy, but it is something that you can watch straight through. It's a rather short
Yeah.
series. The episodes are not even 30
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
What was your favorite episode? If you had to pick.
If I had to pick the stripper episode, man. Like the strippers were
It was wild.
hilarious.
It was
They
wild.
were so funny. It was good. And the fact that like they knew that Dre was a can I say weirdo? Is that like PC? I don't know. They knew Dre was a weirdo, but they were just like, listen, she gonna drive us. We need somebody to drive. I loved it. I
Because
loved it.
who like, of course strippers are gonna be like, we all weird in some kind of way, right?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
all we're all we're all in that shunned group, right? So they're not going to exile someone just for being kooky.
No.
They're just gonna be
No.
like, girl,
Yeah, and
oh,
they were, like, very much like, "She rolling with us, like, fine, she
yeah, yeah.
whatever, girl, you driving, you
She's
rolling
not
with us."
on what we on, but she
But she cool, we gonna look out for her, she cool, like, I appreciated that. What was your favorite episode?
my favorite episode, and the reason that first of all, I just want to put all respect on this woman's name. Heather Sims, okay?
Mhm,
Heather Sims is a name that I hope we start to know regularly.
mhm.
She played Detective Green in the director. Well, not the director. I'm sorry. Like the what do you call it? Like the
The
document.
documentary, the docuseries. Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
episode was amazing, and
Yes,
if
yes,
anybody needs like an Emmy or anything
yes,
for supporting whatever,
yes.
she did. Yo, she was so good.
She was so good. I'm so glad you went to this because I was definitely going to ask you about this episode before you wrapped up. I'm so glad you went here. I looked at her and I was like, have I seen her on First 48 before? Because she is giving me Black Cop from Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Like she is giving me that.
To have her show up to the crime scene with her bright colors on and
Yes,
her purse on her, but she's still very much doing her job.
yes.
Oh,
It
that
was,
that episode was absolutely amazing.
yeah,
That
yeah,
I enjoyed the hell out of that episode.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
the placement of it,
That's where I was going. I was waiting on you to, yep, I was going
it could have
there.
just been at the very end,
But would that be,
but it was all.
but would Donald Glover just do that? Would he
No,
just
of
put it?
course not.
Exactly.
Of
Yeah.
course not. But
Yeah.
yeah, listen, every whoever the powers that be out there, put that woman in some more things. Put her in
Agreed.
things.
Give me more of her. Yes.
Yo, and it was just
Yes.
that one. Like I said, there's everything is just like these single episodes. Um,
She
but
carried it.
she
She
was.
carried.
I
She
can't say
carried.
enough.
Now let
So
me ask you about episode 6 since we're here. Did you, and be honest, did you understand it like when you first watched it, or did you have to watch it again? Did you have to do your
episode
Googles?
6, which was episode 6,
I'm sorry, not episode 6, or was it episode 7? The one where we're talking about where
last.
the the
Oh,
second to last one,
okay.
the docu-series
Did I
episode. Like,
get
well,
it?
yeah, at
Yeah,
first.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I watched it twice. I didn't get it at first. I started to get it along the way, but again, it was like, am I missing pieces? And then I rewatched it and I was
Yeah.
like, I see where we're going now. I see what we're doing now.
To me, this episode was a satire answer to
Mhm.
the opening card, which is like which instead of you watch shows and they say any likeness that's related to
Yeah.
someone, real persons is accidental. And
Yep.
of course they take and they say this is intentional. But this is
Yeah.
also that episode seemed to be the answer to that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, in a way, I enjoyed the episode, but also in terms of the linear plot of the series,
Hmm.
it it's almost what it does is it basically makes makes that universe real,
Hmm.
meaning the detective, the girl, it makes those people real,
Hmm.
which basically is all it's saying is what you watched before this and what you're about to watch after this is all just a dramatization.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but again, I enjoyed the episode so much
I
that.
loved it. Yeah.
And then as far as
Yeah.
how the series ended, first of
Hmm.
all, I
Black
ain't,
people love first of all, but go
I
ahead.
ain't gonna, I ain't gonna, I ain't even going,
First of all,
I ain't even gonna. What do you think about how the series wrapped itself up? Oh, wait, wait! Before we do that,
yes, I'm
I
listening.
need, first of all,
Hmm.
our rating system, right?
Yes.
If there was someone who could be on the rating scale that I think would be a shoe-in for a good 4 or 5, it's gonna be Leon. First of all,
Uh,
Leon is one of for Black people. He's so good. Leon's amazing. I'm sorry.
and he's still fine, but go ahead.
The roles that he's done, he's just so good. I often sit back.
The thing about Leon?
Well, no. I just think about the trajectory of his career, right?
Hmm.
Because the roles that he did, all of them are, you can quote them. people still talk about David Ruffin. People
All time.
believe David Ruffin, the man, to
Yeah.
actually be who
Yeah.
Leon portrayed him to be. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When
Yeah.
when you say David Ruffin, there's a generation of people who think of Leon. You know, but to see him pop up in this series, I was like, yes, yes, Cool
Yeah.
Running, the Little Richard story, Temptations. Like I was very happy to see him pop up in this,
Me
and
too.
of course, the role that he played was not somebody that you're supposed to like. But when I saw
Yeah.
it was him, anytime because I know he's gonna give it. So when I saw it was him, I was like, I was giving it my full
I
attention.
love it. I loved it. I agree 100%. It was very exciting. I feel like Black people as a whole, we always get excited when we see Leon. We don't know his last name. It doesn't matter. We all say Leon.
Yeah,
Everybody knows who we're talking about, and we all get excited. Like
man.
it's just it really is that. So I agree with you. I also you forgot to say Waiting to Excel, iconic role.
Yeah, yeah.
But also on that same note, before we wrap up, on that same note, I just want to give a hand clap of praise to Cree Summer because again,
Oh,
she's another
oh,
iconic actor that
oh.
we love to see. We've grown up with. We get excited when we see her. She's still beautiful. She's still working, stays working. Like we love Cree Summer. So I was
Cree
excited to
Summer
see Cree Summer.
is
Love her.
basically she's the voice of everything.
Yes. Literally from our childhoods to up to now, like literally that
She's
for
literally the
like
voice of
us as
everything.
kids and y'all's kids. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
We love some Cree Summer. So like it's very again, it's so Donald Glover to bring out these Black actors who like aren't necessarily mainstream, but they mean so much to us,
Yeah.
like to us as a collective, because Cree Summer is that Leon's very that, like, he did the same thing with like Cat Williams in Atlanta, and Cat Williams got an Emmy for that role. Like that's amazing. So say what you want about Donald Glover. He does
The casting was
the
great.
casting is great, and he always throws a nod to, like, those iconic Black actors that, like, you may not see on your day-to-day, but, like, they can turn it and give it every single time, every single
Yeah.
time. Mhm.
Yeah, and I definitely appreciate that because it if it's done wrong, having a lot of cameos or having different uh people featured, if the casting is done wrong, it comes off as like cheap, as like a cheap
Yes.
way to pull people in and be like, hey, see, I'm doing this for you. But you
Yeah.
don't get that from any of the
Mm-mm.
casting here. Everybody
No.
fit into what they're supposed
Beautifully done.
to get into. And
Beautifully
Leon's
done.
another method actor.
Mhm.
So of
That's why
course,
you only see him when you see him. And,
yeah,
like, listen,
of course.
mood.
But
Mood.
I had to make sure I get that in. But
Yes.
um, how do you feel about how it all wrapped up? Were you satisfied, or let me say this:
Mhm. Mhm.
we didn't need the CGI like meshing of Chloe Bailey's face with Queen Naja's face when Dre finally gets to meet Queen Naja face to face on
Mhm.
stage. The
Mhm.
when they superimpose, it could have just been Queen Naja.
I honestly
It
don't
looks
remember
weird,
that.
huh?
I honestly do not remember that.
Yeah, okay, so you probably couldn't really tell because it's like a blend.
Yeah.
Basically, they used CGI to put Chloe Bailey's face on top of Queen Naja's face. So when she saw her, it was
Yeah.
a mix of both of them. That's why she looks
Oh,
kind of,
that's why she looked funny.
yeah.
'Cause I do remember okay, I'll have to go back
It
and
looks
watch it, but
kind
I
of
do
cartoonish.
yeah, and I remember thinking, like, she looks weird, but I thought it was just more of, like, a delusion kind of a thing, or, like, she was so, like, elated to see her, she almost looked
No, there's
unreal,
something
so
here.
okay, fair enough. So my thoughts on the final episode, gotta be honest, it was probably my least favorite episode of the whole
Yeah,
series, or yeah, and I do think it was kinda anticlimactic because it came after the docuseries or documentary episode, which is like, mm,
yeah,
so I kinda, but, I like, in typical Donald Glover fashion, it was left up to our interpretation. He doesn't have a solid ending. It's like whatever you think is the ending is what it is. I mean, it was fine. It was definitely anticlimactic for me though. What say you, friend?
I agree. I think
Mm.
that the documentary episode was so good, but the placement
Mhm.
of it
Yeah.
kind of, because by the time I was done watching the documentary episode,
You were done with the series?
I was like, oh wait, there's more.
Yeah, 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 it was that. It was that. Even
So
like, cause how Donald came out at the end and he was on the red carpet answering the questions, it was very like, "Oh, this is the end." And a part of me feels like, was that a last minute decision to flip the episodes? Were they at the end of, like, putting this together and they were like, "Ooh, you know what's really gonna hit them? 'Em? Let's flip the last 2." Like, I kinda felt like that because it didn't
yeah,
need to be done that way.
yeah, it's like an intentional jarring because
Yeah,
like you said,
like,
you were
is it
like,
a
wait a minute, did I miss something?
yeah,
It's it's done in a way that makes you have to go back and watch it again
yeah,
because you know what I mean. That's the whole purpose of what people like Donald Glover and Jordan Peele and similar. Is what they do. They basically create things that are really not that deep most of the time, but it's done in a clever manner and it makes you go back and see it
it's
again.
true, it's true.
That's really what it is.
Yeah, very that.
So
So,
I enjoyed it for what it was worth. But
uh-huh.
now is I'm gonna tell you what I rated. Okay.
Let's tell us what you rated. Mhm, mhm.
For me, Swarm, I know y'all love it.
Yeah, here we
Okay.
go. Uh-huh.
And I know that y'all was like, oh my gosh, this is so different. This is so fresh. This is so new. For me, I I enjoyed the fact that we got to see black people, in a role that you normally wouldn't see. I also enjoyed all the everything we mentioned, right? But for me, I wouldn't rewatch it.
Mhm,
I got it the first time.
mhm, mhm.
um, I know that like I said, some stuff was designed in that way for you to read into it and stuff like that. But we all know, again, this is just a crazy fan story. That's what it is. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm gonna have to just give it a Jennifer Lewis. That's
Which
why
to remind our viewers, what's the Jennifer Lewis equivalent?
it's a 3 out of 5. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not something that I was particularly drawn to as far as the main storyline.
Mhm.
Um, I get annoyed by obsessed, you know, fans of like a pop star who are obsessed to no end. So I was particularly annoyed with Dre. Um, and so I was I was at some moments I was waiting on her to get her come up and so waiting on her to get caught. And that's just because obsessed fans drive me up the wall. So yeah, it's a Jennifer Lewis for me all day. What
Well,
about
for
you?
me, I am going to give it an Angela Bassett.
What?
I loved the series. I love Miss Dominique Fishback. Again, give her all the things. I think give her an Angela Bassett, okay? Because she did that. Like she really did.
Okay, see, you can't do
She
that.
ma I'm just saying,
We're
I just want to
rating
put
the
that little in there. I just
series.
want to add that little note. But as far as the series, I really enjoyed the series. I personally, me personally, I've never seen a story like this. I've never seen a Black female character like this.
Yeah,
I can appreciate what went into the character building. But I really enjoyed the other characters. I think they also helped to tell this story. They were so important. So I don't think that any character was like a miss. I don't really feel like we could have done without whoever. Like I feel like everybody was important to the story. Um, and I agree with you. I also get annoyed with the obsessive fans who are bullying online, borderline abusive, borderline dangerous. Like I do think that that is ridiculous. But what I loved about this series is that it didn't. I wouldn't even say that it poked fun at them. I think it really
I
called them
think
to the carpet.
really,
I didn't see it as poking fun. I didn't see it
I
as
think it was the whole series was basically look at how ridiculous y'all are.
Yeah, but I don't see that as poking fun. I think poking fun is like, oh, we're laughing together. Y'all are silly, hee hee, we kiki. I saw it as like y'all are them turning the mirror to them saying, look at how ridiculous you are and look at how dangerous you can be. And I thought, that's why I keep saying, like, you keep using the word bold. It is very bold because I have never seen anyone really on this level criticize these sort of fan bases. And I can appreciate that they did that because no one really says anything. Like people, yeah, like, in, water cooler conversations or over text with friends, we'll be like, oh my God, can you believe XYZ fan group is doing blah, blah, blah. But nobody is really calling them out. It is dangerous to do that. So I think it was like calling them to the carpet. I appreciated that, but it was done in such a way that it was not so like finger wagging. It was more like, let me tell you the story. I mean, a cautionary tale, if you will. So I appreciated that. I really enjoyed it. I appreciate that the series was short. I don't ever need to see another series. Like, like another episode of this.
Yeah.
It's a series that I will rewatch. I rewatched many of the episodes. I recommended it to lots of people. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going online and seeing what people were saying about it. I thought it was great. I haven't seen anything like it in a long time. Like I said, I was upset with Donald for a very long time for Atlanta, but we won't go there today because we don't have the time. So I appreciated it. I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Well.
Well, that being said, if you have made it this far, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave a comment. If you are listening to this as a podcast, make sure you go ahead and leave a 5-star review. If you're not going to leave 5 stars, we don't want it. We don't want it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And of course, you can find me all over the social media at TeaRon World on Instagram, at TeaRon with 2 underscores on TikTok. And of course, you can follow Ubiquitous Blacks all over the internet. And if you have any suggestions for us, you can always email us questions, comments, concerns, or you can just leave them right in the comments on YouTube. Tiera, where can they find you?
You can find me at It's Tiera Janee on Instagram. You can also find me wherever you find him. Just hit him up. You know how to find me. And y'all, seriously, leave some comments. We appreciate them. Nice, friendly comments. We appreciate that. And if you have some suggestions, we would love to hear from you. Let us know where to find the content and then drop your password. Thank you. We are family. Thanks,
Drop
guys.
the password.
Drop the password if we got to get into the apps, all the things. Drop the password, the logins. Thank you.
At first, I thought you misspoke. But you're, and I'd have to agree. If you have an app, and we may not have access to, but you want us to watch it and review it, discuss it, go ahead and share that password.
Share that, and if you don't want to share with everybody, just put it in the DM. It's cool.
Email it to us or DM us.
Fine. We won't share it with nobody else. We'll
log in. You'll get a notification saying that somebody logged in. It's me.
It's me.
And I'm gonna watch it, and then we're gonna talk about it together.
And then we're gonna shout you out. So thank you in advance.
You will get a shout out at least. At least.
Yes.
Well, it's been fun. Until we are back again, we do another one. Peace, everybody.
Bye, y'all.